Yeah, I know, Piggy. Look at this money here. We got a 20 and fives and a 10. Oh, Piggy. Yeah, we got a whole thing here full of money, Piggy. What do you think about that? All kinds of money. We got 10s and 20s and fives. Piggy, we got a lot of money here. We have so much money that I think we might be able to live high on the hog. Oh, yeah, I know. It's exciting, isn't it? Yes, to live high on the hog. Yeah. Oh, hey, did you ever hear that phrase, to live high on the hog? You did. Well, what does it mean? Well, to live high on the hog means that someone is affluent or rich, has lots of money, and they can live in luxury. We say about them, they've been living pretty high on the hog since those Smiths have won the lottery. Or about movie stars, we can say, yeah, because they're movie stars, they live pretty high on the hog. Wow, okay. Yeah, so living high on the hog, or no, living high on the hog, yes, is about being rich. There's another reference, too, called living the high life. And some people use that to notate those who are rich or living high on the hog. So this expression, living high on the hog, I got two hogs here, come from the 20th century America, which is early, and it refers to this practice of eating, we won't tell Piggy we're eating him, of eating choice cuts of meat from the pig or the hog. And the best part of the meat from a pig, they say, is from its back here, right there, or its upper legs. We won't tell them. And these are choice cuts, and they are typically more expensive cuts, so that anyone who is wealthy can eat the high parts of the hog. And now prices are going up, and so some pork is pretty expensive, and even bacon, which used not to be the costliest of pig meat, is actually pretty popular now, and so it's a little bit more expensive too. But in order to eat some of this meat from the pig, you had to be high on the hog. Wow. It's interesting, especially now we're in a time where prices are higher and we're living in a time of inflation. It was this phrase, to live high on the hog, was made popular in 1920 in the New York Times. And there was an article that blamed people who ate high on the hog to be the cause of the increasing inflation. Part of the conversation that we have between the rich and the poor and what is the best way to live, especially when people have so much and there are those who have so little. You may remember that the Fiddler on the Roof, if I were a rich man, la-dee-dee-dee-dee. So we say sometimes if we were rich, we could do so much to help other people, and we could maybe live high on the hog while we shared our riches with others. Well, I'm not so sure. The Bible has some interesting words to say about people who think about money all the time and who want to get rich, and that's all they think about. Proverbs 23 verses 4 and 5 says, "Don't wear yourself out to get rich. Don't trust how wise you think you are, for when you even take a quick look at riches, they're gone. They grow wings and they fly away into the sky like an eagle." So high on the hog flies away. Well, that could be very true. In the New Testament, the Apostle James has some harsh things to say about people who concentrate on being rich and care for little else. He says this, "You rich people, listen to me, cry and weep, because you will soon be suffering. Your riches have rotted, and moths have eaten your clothes. Ooh. Your gold and silver has lost its brightness. Their dullness will be a witness against you. Your wanting more and more will cause your body to be eaten like fire. You have stored up riches in these last days. You have failed to pay the workers who worked in your fields. Their pay is crying out against you. You have lived an easy life on earth, and you have given yourselves everything you wanted." But then he goes on to talk about how you have not been fair, or how these rich people had not been fair to people around them. So I think we need to be careful. Being rich in itself is not bad. It's how we treat others. And if you step on people to get rich, or if you treat people unfairly who have helped you attain your riches, then you are not favored. 1 Timothy 6, the Apostle Paul writes this to Timothy. He says, "They think they can get rich by being godly." Some people think that because you're a Christian, therefore you can have all the money in the world. Well, you gain a lot when you live a godly life, but you must be happy with what you have. We didn't bring anything into the world, and we can't take anything out of it. If we have food or clothing, we will be happy with that. People who want to get rich are tempted. They fall into a trap. Then he goes on to say, love for money causes all kinds of evil. For some people want to get rich and they wander away from their faith and they wound themselves with many sorrows. He goes on later, the Apostle Paul in 1 Timothy chapter 6, and says this, you know what? Command people who are rich in this world not to be proud. Tell them not to put their hope in riches. Piggy, wealth is uncertain. Command those who are rich to put their hope in God. He richly provides us with everything to enjoy. Command the rich to do good. Tell them to be rich in doing good things. They must give freely. They must be willing to share. In this way, they will store up true riches for themselves. It will provide a firm basis for the next life, and then they will take a hold of the life that really is life. You know what, Piggy? I know some people who have done very well and who have made a good amount of money in their lives, and that's great. And they share it freely with other people, and that is what God is blessing. But if somebody thinks, I'm going to live high on the hog and I'm not going to share it with anybody, it's all about me, well, that's where God has a different perspective and viewpoint. And so we want to encourage all of our friends, any of you who think about living high on the hog, do so carefully. While you're doing it, love God above all else and love others. So today, if you hear somebody saying about living high on the hog, well, you might want to caution them and say, let's remember to trust in God, for He gives us everything that we need, and what we have now is not going to last forever. Oh, I'm grateful for what God has given me and that I can use it hopefully wisely. I hope you can use God's blessings to you wisely as well. I hope that you have a day filled with joy and a day filled with peace.